You rule 3,400 square miles of the most fertile land on earth. The Nile feeds it, the sun bakes it, and every living thing in it, every farmer, every priest, every slave stacking mud bricks in Python, belongs to you. Not symbolically, literally. Egyptian law doesn't distinguish between the land, the crops, and the people. They are all property of the throne. Your throne. You are not a king the way other nations have kings. You are a god, the son of Ra, the living Horus. Every morning, priests perform the opening of the mouth ceremony in your name so the sun will rise. If you fail, the cosmos fails. That's not propaganda. That's theology baked into the foundation of a civilization that's already 1,500 years old. You sit on a gilded throne in the Great Hall of Pillars at Ramesses. The floor is polished limestone. The ceiling is 40 feet high. Painted reliefs on every wall show you, and every pharaoh before you, crushing enemies under chariot wheels. So when two weathered men walk into your court and tell you their invisible god demands you release your labor force, roughly 600,000 working-age males and their families, you don't take it seriously. You can't. The entire economy of the new kingdom runs on forced labor. The store cities, the monuments, the irrigation channels, all of it. Releasing the Hebrew slaves isn't a humanitarian question. It's an infrastructure collapse. The older one speaks. Moses. He's got an accent you can't quite place. Raised Egyptian, clearly, but decades in the Midian desert have roughened him. He's 80 years old. His brother Aaron does most of the talking. They ask once. You say no, they ask again. Aaron throws down his staff and it becomes a snake. Your court magicians, Janus and Jambres, according to later tradition, do the same thing. Staff to serpent, standard repertoire. Egyptian priests train for years in Heka, ritual magic. This isn't new. But Aaron's snake eats theirs. Every single one. You file it away. You don't flinch. Then the water turns. Aaron stretches his staff over the Nile, and the river goes red. Not muddy, not silty. Red. The fish die within hours. The smell hits the city by midday. A sweet, rotting heaviness that sits in your throat like oil. Every canal, every reservoir, every clay jar of stored water in every household across the delta goes the same way. Your magicians replicate it on a small scale. They turn a bowl of clean water red. You hold on to that. If your men can do it, it's technique, not divinity. But here's the thing. Nobody in your court says out loud, your magicians can turn water to blood, but they can't turn it back. The people dig along the riverbanks for 7 days, filtering water through sand and soil just to drink. 7 days. You do nothing. Then come the frogs. They come from the river by the millions. Not a slow migration. An eruption. They fill the ovens. They crawl into the kneading bowls. They pile on top of each other in the bedchambers, including yours. You wake up with them on your chest, between your fingers, in your hair. The sound is constant. A wet, pulsing chorus that doesn't stop at night. Your magicians produce more frogs. That's their solution. More frogs. For the first time, you call Moses back. You ask him to pray to his God to remove them. He asks when. You say tomorrow, not today. Tomorrow, as if you're still the one setting the terms. The frogs die overnight. All of them, everywhere at once. The Egyptians rake them into piles that rot in the sun. The stench is worse than the blood. You change your mind. You don't let the Hebrews go. The third plague comes without warning. No announcement. No negotiation. Aaron strikes the dust and the gnats come. Kinim, the Hebrew word, sometimes translated as lice. Clouds of them. They cover every person and every animal in the country. The air itself feels alive. Your magicians try. They fail. For the first time, they look at you and say it plainly. This is the finger of God. You ignore them. The fourth plague draws a line. Flies swarm every Egyptian home, every Egyptian field. But Goshen, the region where the Hebrews live, stays clean. Not a single fly. The border isn't gradual. It's a wall. This is new. This isn't a natural disaster that hits everyone equally. This is targeted, precise, surgical. You negotiate. You offer to let the Hebrews sacrifice to their God inside Egypt. Moses says no. The sacrifices would be offensive to Egyptians, and they'd be stoned. He's right. Hebrews sacrifice cattle. Egyptians worship Hathor, the cow goddess. You offer to let them go a short distance into the wilderness. Moses agrees. The flies vanish. You revoke the deal immediately. Now it accelerates. Plague 5. Every Egyptian-owned horse, donkey, camel, ox, and sheep dies. Livestock plague. Entire herds drop in the fields between dawn and midday. The economic damage alone is staggering. A single war horse costs what a laborer earns in 4 years. The chariot corps, the backbone of your military superiority, loses its animals in a single morning. The Hebrew animals, untouched. You send officials to Goshen to verify. They come back shaken. Not one Hebrew animal dead. You don't move. Plague 6. Moses throws furnace ash into the air in front of you. Boils erupt on every Egyptian in the country. Open, oozing sores that make it impossible to work, to walk, to dress. Your own magicians can't stand before Moses. They can't stand at all. They're on the ground. The text says something specific here. God hardens your heart. Scholars have debated this for 3,000 years. Does it mean you lost free will? Or does it mean the stubbornness that was always in you simply calcified past the point of return? Either way, the pattern locks. You will not yield. You cannot yield. You are a god. And gods don't surrender to other gods. Plague 7 breaks something in the sky. Moses warns you in advance. He tells you the exact time. He says to bring your remaining livestock and servants indoors. Some of your officials listen, the ones who've started to believe. Others don't. The hail comes with fire, not lightning followed by hail. Fire and ice falling together, intertwined. The flax and barley, destroyed. They're in season. The wheat and spelt survive only because they haven't sprouted yet. For the first time you use the word sinned. You say it to Moses directly. You say God is righteous, and you and your people are wicked. Moses lifts his hands. The hail stops. You take it back. Every word. Plague 8. Locusts. Your own officials beg you before this one hits. They grab you by the arm in the throne room and say, how long will this man be a snare to us? Don't you realize Egypt is destroyed? You bring Moses back. You try to negotiate. Just the men can go worship. Leave the women and children. Moses refuses. The locusts come on an east wind that blows all day and all night. By morning they cover the ground so thick you can't see the soil. They eat everything the hail left behind, every green thing, every leaf, every blade of grass, every stalk. Egypt's food supply is gone. You call Moses back fast this time. You confess again. The locusts get swept into the Red Sea by a west wind so powerful not one remains. Your heart hardens again. The cycle holds. Plague 9. No warning, no staff, no conversation. A darkness falls over Egypt that lasts 3 days. Not nighttime dark, not eclipse dark. The text calls it a darkness that can be felt. A thickness in the air so heavy no one moves from where they stand. For 72 hours, Egyptians sit in total blackness, unable to see their own hands. No lamps stay lit, no torches hold. The darkness swallows fire itself. This is an attack on Ra, on you. You are the son of the sun, and the sun has been erased from the sky over your own kingdom. The Hebrews have light in their homes. You offer Moses one final deal. Everyone can go, all the people, but leave the livestock. Moses says no. Not a hoof will be left behind. You lose control. You tell Moses to get out. You tell him if he ever sees your face again, he will die. Moses agrees. He says you're right. You will never see his face again. Then he tells you about the 10th. Every firstborn in Egypt will die. From the firstborn of Pharaoh on his throne to the firstborn of the slave girl grinding at the mill, every firstborn animal, every household, there will be a cry across Egypt unlike anything before or since. The Hebrews that same night will paint lamb's blood on their doorposts. The destroyer will pass over those homes. You've heard 9 warnings now. You've watched 9 plagues land exactly as described. You've watched the distinction between Egyptian and Hebrew drawn with impossible precision. You've watched your own magicians quit. You've watched your own officials break. And you sit on your throne and say nothing. At midnight, it happens. The sound reaches you before the news does. A wailing from the city that rises and spreads like a wave, district by district, house by house. Then someone comes running into your chamber. Your firstborn son is dead. You don't wait until morning. You call for Moses and Aaron in the middle of the night. You don't negotiate. You don't add conditions. You say, go. Take your flocks. Take your herds. Take everything. Then you say something no Pharaoh has ever said to a slave. And bless me too. The Hebrews leave before dawn. 600,000 men plus women and children. They take unleavened bread because there's no time to let it rise. They take Egyptian gold and silver. The Egyptians hand it over willingly, desperate to get them out before everyone is dead. Egypt is silent by morning. No livestock in the fields, no grain in the storehouses, no labor force in the brickyards. You stand in a kingdom stripped to the bone, and within days you change your mind one last time. You gather what's left of your army, 600 chariots, and chase them toward the sea. You already know how that ends.